Wakisashi's Tea House. Konnichiwa minasan, this is Gray from Wakisashi's Tea House over in Japan. How are you doing tonight for me, but tomorrow morning for you? I'm good, I'm Genki. Do you know why I'm so Genki? Because today I'm going to review of Kingspawn issue 6. Before we start, I want to raise my glass and have a toast. Let's toast Sean Lewis, writer, JavierFernandez, artist, and Todd McFarlane, the genius behind it all, because this is the best issue yet of Kingspawn in a great run. Every issue has been dope. This issue is fantastic. Before you do anything else, go out and buy it. Cheers. Kanpai. I tell you, I don't usually gush, but I'm gushing for this review because I've just been through this issue. I've read it once. What did I do? I went back to the beginning and read it over again. It's fantastic. Then I've done my review. Once I finish this review, I'm going to read it again. The art is amazing. It's next level. Wait till you see it. The story is compelling. There's some kick-ass dialogue. There's some great dialogue in here. I had to read some of it like verbatim because it's so good. Sean Lewis, JavierFernandez, you've been killing it on this series, and this is the best yet. If you can, go out and get the previous 5 issues if you've not got them. You've got to read this series. It's so good. Don't miss out. Get on board. You can pick them up cheap on Comixology or Kindle, the back issues. Try and find the physicals if you can. Where I live, I can't get hold of them unfortunately, so that's why I'm kind of stuck with digital, but still, it looks amazing. So this story has kind of been leading to this issue. The previous 5 issues have been coming to this point. You've got to read it. Just go and get it. Okay, enough gushing from me. I don't apologise because I mean it. I mean every word. This is the best issue yet. I had such a good time reading it. Okay, let's go on with my short story summary. Here we go. Thanks guys, I appreciate your support. Let's start with admiring Jonathan Glapion's awesome cover. It's dark and dirty. Okay, here's a tagline. Previously in Spawn, the identity of Disruptor has been revealed as the one man who has bested Al in the past, Jason Wynn. But how did a man that has been dead for years come into so much power? Let's find out. Wynn hits Spawn with a blast of psychoplasm, and then he starts to tell him the story of how he sold his soul so he could one day get revenge against Al. As he says, "You'd eventually pay for my pain." And then everything literally goes sideways as we get an old style pin-up double page spread. Dope ass! How cool is it by JavierFernandez? He's killing it with the art here. So what we've got is some kind of crazy demon king, and Wynn's talking about being tortured, going through insane agonies just to have a chance to survive, for a chance to come back. Why? Well, you know, don't you? He wants Spawn, he wants revenge. And then we join Wynn in his cell. Guess who his cellmate is? That's right, it's the evil, twisted child killer, Kincaid. Kincaid's banging away on the bars, he's trying to get out of there. Just want to get out. And they're told that the only way that's going to happen is if they bend the knee first. Wynn and Kincaid are told that the only chance they've got of getting out of there is if they deliver Kingspawn. And Wynn says, that's the first time I heard that name. Why are they calling him that? And then he's talking about Spawn has enough power to lock the dead zones, whatever that means. So, Kincaid did what he does best. By killing children, he got Spawn's attention. And at the same time, it says Wynn was building a financial pipeline so he'd be able to rebuild himself. What's Exodus Corp? Was that his company? Okay, on the next page, look at this badass art by Fernandez. So Spawn, he's asking about the dead zones. That means they've been breached, right? Wynn replies in the negative. No, there's a small crack. But it needs them to open it wider. Why? What's going to come through? Spawn's furious. So you can kill more children? Crack! Wynn berates Spawn for not listening. Laughs off the fact that they're calling him king. Knocks him flying with a huge crack. But then, a voice from behind. You dropped something, Wynn. It's Terry to the rescue! Terry's putting on a piece of the dislodged armour from Wynn. What's going to happen? Shroud! He blasts Wynn with an energy beam and Wynn laughs it off. You pitiful worm. Classic line. What a villain. Then Wynn's taunting Terry. You stole Al's wife. You got her killed. You've been hiding in his shadow all this time. He's making Terry angrier and angrier. He's provoking him. What's going to happen? And at the bottom you see Spawn screaming, Terry, Don't! Okay, let's go panel to panel again to savour Javier Fernandez's dope-ass art. Look at this, what a smack, what a punch, oh my god. Slow motion, blood flying out of his mouth. There's a great description by Seanlewis where he describes it as the sound that you've heard. It's happened in 1 million car crashes. The sound of metal slamming against human flesh. Pork! Terry's floored, he's down. Doesn't sound good, doesn't look good. And then Wynn saying, unlock the dead zones, Al. And then the suffering will end. Spawn screams that he doesn't want it to stop. The pain's important. The pain helps him remember all the bad things that's been done to him and everyone else. Look at the art again, it's so good. I like the panel breakdown here. Everything that's ever been done to me. Again, another fantastic double page spread by Fernandez. Crackoom! Huge explosion. No! What's Jason Wynn done? He's blown himself up. Now please let me read from the boxes here, the text. It's so good here, the writing. He's alive, but he's taken damage to himself. Terry's body is screaming, his poor human body caught on a battlefield between gods. Why? Why couldn't you just listen? Just accept your destiny and take your goddamn kingdom. This art is just next level. Again, allow me to read, it's so good here. He meets the smouldering, sickly visage of a man who's lost everything he's ever cared for when he was alive. Pain, now that's the only thing that gives him meaning. The more he has of it, the more it drives him. And we see Spawn stepping on the helmet. Is it the helmet or is it even the skull of Jason Wynn? Crack! Spawn demands the names of the ones who let him out of hell. And guess what he says? Wanda. Of course, as we all know, that's the name of Al Simmons' dead wife. What did you say? Al shouldn't listen to him, but he is. Wynn's telling him that they've all been coming back. Him, Kincaid. Why not Wanda? He's tempting Spawn with the reason why he became Spawn in the first place. And he tells him to follow the sigil. If you don't believe me, let the sigil show you. Those kids. Psalms 137. You want to live by biblical rules? Then you'll suffer by them too! And he tells him a great quote from the Bible, an eye for an eye. Again, I know I keep saying it, but look at this art! Now please allow me to give my best, or worst, Stone Roses impression. Hell hath no fury like a Spawn scorned. And we got Terry leaning against a tree. Terry's still alive, thank God. Wanda! He's heard the name too. Hold still, Terry. This is gonna hurt. What's he gonna do? Snap! Oh, thank God for that. He puts his jaw back into position. I thought he was gonna take Terry's eye out too. How about you? Let me skip ahead just a little bit and we see a group of dangerously armed looking men. We're told this is the Exodus Foundation. So the money behind Psalms 137, the terrorist group, this is where it's been going. Who's this? You have it. Kincaid's bones. It's all we could find. Gather the rest of his remains, then exit. And then he's on the phone to somebody. Is it done? Disruptor told us we'll have a guest soon. So we must prepare his throne. Behold, the God throne! And that's where the issue ends. After that we get a really nice interview with writer Seanlewis. We find out how much of a fan he's been of Spawn growing up. And some of the art from Javier Fernandez where Seanlewis is saying, he knows how good this is, he knows it's next level. He's delighted to be working with Fernandez on the book. Brief advert for Scorched issue 1. If you've not seen my review, check it out. And then a cover, Kingspawn 7, February. Look at this. Look at this. Look at his armour. It's awesome. And the variant cover by Javier Fernandez. Kingspawn wearing a crown of thorns. It's on fire, of course, because this book is fire. So, what did you think? I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I tell you, I think that's the best issue yet, and it's the best out of all the good issues. They've all been great so far. Okay, so as always, thank you so much for watching. If you could leave a comment, that would be fantastic. And I hope to see you in a future video. This is Gray from Wakazashi's Tea House, signing off for the night. Matane. Wakazashi's Tea House. Please subscribe.